Okay. Hey. I wish I had an introduction. Like, I wish I was like, hey, it's Kayla. That's fucking whack. That's whack as AF. That's whack AF. I'm trying to figure out how to put this clip. Okay, I'm back. I'm back again. Back again. And I have a very exciting I was writing this morning. I just kept getting so many phone calls and so many messages that were kind of like I'm starting to answer people immediately and calling people back immediately and not waiting because things just get away from me now, so it's just better for me to answer right away. So I started writing about the one topic that I want to write about, and the second topic I wrote about the other day. I'm just gonna go off of how I feel for that one. So everything is off the feels. I'm drinking out of this cup and I haven't washed it and I feel away, but I'm just gonna do it. Fuck it, YOLO. So today is October 28th. We're in Scorpio season right now. And we had a new moon in Scorpio this past weekend, and we still feeling it. It's still those vibes. But I'm going to do a card reading for today, just for today. The energy for today. And then I'm gonna do a card reading for the week, because if I post this today, at whatever time I post it today, and you get to see it, it's gonna be for the week. Today is Monday. I'm still high off of yesterday, Sunday. Natural high, not real high, because that's still real. I am almost 6 months in a week or so, a week or two. So we getting up there, sis. So I'm gonna do a card reading. I'm gonna do what we need to know for the week. I'm gonna use what we need to know and the steps we need to take to get to this knowing and to get through this knowing. I'm gonna use my Angel Tarot cards from Doreen Virtue. I like to use these for like things like that, like more of like a masculine energy type of action based. It gives you a lot of things to do in the physical realm, and it gives you a lot of introspection tasks and things like that. So I like that. Oh my god, I wasn't shuffling it properly, so that's my fault. I want to do a reading. I've been feeling like I wanted to do a reading on video for a while now, but I haven't. Oh my god, bending over is not easy. Okay, well, what's this week presenting to us? Moving into Halloween, Day of the Dead energy, November energy is about to begin. It's the last few days of October, wrapping up October. What do we need to know? What do we need to do? What do we need to be to move through this final week of October? Scorpio season, Scorpio new moon. Who are we to be? To know, baby. Two of Fire. I saw this card recently. Two of Fire. You've come into your own. New partnerships or contracts continue to move forward. Very nice. I like this image. I like this image of two. Two is duality. Partnership, like it said. What did it say? New partnerships or contracts. Continue to move forward. And continue to move forward. Stay open. Stay open for yourself. You come into your own now. And that's what it feels like. It's kind of like Yeah, especially for this Scorpio season beginning, and it was kind of like, oh my goodness, where am I? What am I doing? Who am I? And now it's like, now I see, now I know. So this is a great card to get. Two of fire, 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 fire. Fire symbolizes the phoenix, the burning, dismantling, and the rebirth, the death and the rebirth, the catastrophe, the light at the end of the tunnel. Fire, heat, warmth, truth. When the fire starts, the truth is revealed. Everything burns down, everybody runs frantic, scared, it's chaotic. But the truth is revealed. I like that. Beautiful. So what I wanted to talk about was since I don't really have a starting topic for the new moon in Scorpio. I feel like I can get into the new moon in Scorpio after talking about this. So what I was called to talk about, I saw a post that said something. I hate when I don't have the post like readily, but I'm using my phone to record. So, but the post said something like, and I'm sure if you've seen it before, if you're a healer, you're a healing person or a healer, you're always going to be attracted to people who need healing. And along those lines of like attracting those people who need healing type of thing. I can't remember the other part of it, but it was really cute. I don't like when I wear my hair down like this because it gets annoying, but it's cute. So, and I'm trying to work new hairstyles so I can figure out what to wear for my baby shower. So this type of hairstyle. So what I got from it is I wanted to break it down a little bit and what it means of being a healer and being the person who needs the healing, and kind of like how I experienced that before, of course, being the person that I am, the witch and the healist, the enchantress that I consider myself to be, and the relationships that I've been in before where I've seen that situation unravel, how I got there. And ultimately this Scorpio energy and this new moon ultimately has me in a place of like, I am no longer doing that no more. I've cut the ties. I see where I needed to cut the ties and how to cut the ties, and I've done that. And so that's the place that I feel like I'm at right now, and that's why I feel like I want to share, because a lot of people are still in those cycles of relationships where they're the ones who offer the healing, and the person that they're with is absorbing them and taking from them, and ultimately the healer ends up drained. The healer ends up pulled in and dragged down by all of that, and ultimately having to pull themselves out and doing the work for themselves too now. So what I got into was, what I wanted to do was name what a healer was, what it means to be a healer, what does it look like. And what I came to was that when you are a healer, when you can consider you a healer, and when you are aligned with that path, is when you are objective and you're understanding, and an underlying understanding. And that's that one that stands out the most, because I always found myself in a place of being like, I understand where you're coming from. Especially a lot with mental health, that psychology is one of my favorite subjects. Being in that space of like, okay, like I see the lines. I'm not diagnosing, I'm not calling anything, but I see where this lays and this is laying, and I see how this could happen, and I'm seeing and naturally being able to foresee a lot of things and being like, okay, I get it, I understand where you're coming from. So I'm not in a place to be like, cutting you off because I don't get it, or just being like when you get to a place of understanding, you kind of like tolerate more, you accept more, because you're just like, oh, I get where that's coming from. And so when you understand that, you get to that, when you're a healer, you've worked on yourself in healing so much that you can understand so many different aspects. Healing is understanding the different sides of you, light and dark. And so when you can consider yourself to be a healing person, you've conquered a lot of those layers, and you understand a lot of that. And so when you see it in somebody else, you're like, oh, I get it. I hear you. And so being understanding, intelligent, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, mentally, having this type of IQ, like a high IQ and level of intelligence behind all those aspects. You've done the studying, you've done the work, so you get it. And so you just are more experienced behind it. Having the human tools to bring new ways of thinking and behavior. And so a lot of times I felt like I'm talking a lot about the past couple, I would say the most prominent, most memorable, most important relationships that I've been in the course of my healing journey, I should say, because I have about a good handful of men that I've dated who I can go back to, I can reference this. It's not just one, it's a few that I can reference back to and say I've done this, done that. So it's not just one. Just in case anybody's like, I'm busy right now. We're gonna let her come in for a couple minutes, okay? Okay. Okay. Hi. I'm actually in the middle of making a YouTube. Come say hi really quick and then you have to go. I'm making a YouTube video, okay?
Okay.
And you've been in some before. You can say hi with your little busted self. Stop. No, look. You just say hi. Hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
You're the greatest baby in the world. The greatest.
I love you. Dibble. I see you. Dibble.
Okay, you gotta go now because I gotta do this. Love you.
Dibble.
Come on, let's go. I'll come see you soon. Whoa! Bye. See you in a minute. See you soon. No, yes. Okay. Be feeling bad. Now she crying. I mean, sis, I gotta do what I gotta do. Wait, I'll come and get you in a few minutes. I think you're gonna have to deal with it. Okay, Corey. Stop it. Stop it. You're making this hard on everybody. I'll come get you in a few minutes. Okay. So, having the human tools to bring new ways of thinking and behavior. So I said this is about a plethora of men, not just one man. But I've always seen myself being the one to say, oh, I think this might be a good idea for you to do, or, you know, maybe try to look at it from this perspective, or have you thought about doing it this way, and you know, that's fine, you know, to a certain point. When you get to a point of, oh my God, there's a fire station that comes to the supermarket across the street from my house, and the only black firefighter is so fine, and he just went into the supermarket just now. I love to see him. But and it's fine, but when you get to a point of it being like you're telling them and kind of like always suggesting things for them to do because they have no idea, it's like this mother-son type of vibe, that's when it becomes like the lines are getting a little blurry, because now it's like I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you the option what to do. I'm telling you what's the best next step based off of my experience, not from you. What's coming from you? Do you have any ideas? Do you have any, like, you know, way to finagle, to finesse your situation, how to move about? If you don't, then it's just me telling you what to do, and I can't tell you what to do all the time. And so those lines can get very blurry. The thing about this is that There's definitely a line between being the healer and the healee, versus like being the healer and you're working with someone who's healing themselves, and you guys just bouncing off energy off of each other. That's one thing. But when it becomes like, you're the only one offering insights and advice and understanding and things like that, and you're not getting this reciprocated back to you, they don't have the tools to give it back to you yet because they're still going through their journey. That's when it becomes you're the healer and you're getting dragged in. So that's when you have to kind of like draw the line and have that discernment to be able to say this is not a relationship that is balanced. There's a lot of imbalance going on. So I say, when I thinking about the people who need this healing, there's two types of people that you will have in your life: friends and lovers. Ultimately, whether you have colleagues who are not necessarily your friend, but you're not sleeping with them, so they're your friend. And then you have lovers who you're intimate with. And those relationships are very different. There are different subcategories to them: husband, boyfriend, girlfriend, situationship, friend, colleague, best friend, a sister. Like, it's different subcategories, but it's ultimately friends and lovers. And so for friends, I said, it's those friends who don't really want to grow. You can see that you can meet someone after a year or two, you guys are friends, everything's fine, and then after like 4 or 5 years, you guys have been friends for almost a decade, and that person has not really changed that much. And it happens. A lot of people don't change. They just get older. Their physical outside looks different, so they might look like a grown person, but internally they still do a lot of the same things that they were doing before. Those people don't change. They do the same job, the same type of jobs. They look the exact same from when they saw you from last time. Even their clothes are the same. I've seen a guy that I knew when I was like 15 years old, younger than that, because it was in a neighborhood that I grew up with my grandmother. So I was going to elementary school, middle school, high school, everything in that neighborhood. I'm over there recently going to a doctor's appointment, and I saw him, and he looked exactly the same. He was on a bicycle. He was doing the same thing that I remember him doing when I was a kid. He was literally wearing the same clothes that I remember him wearing when I was a kid. He did absolutely not one thing changed about him. And I saw him at the corner of my eye. So when I saw him at the corner of my eye, since he was on a bike, I looked and it was like, and then I noticed him. He was looking at me before I was looking at him. And so he recognized me. And when I was walking away, I was like, damn, like, he look exactly the fucking same. Like, it's like he just is traveling through time, not moving. And so I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I look different. I'm pregnant. I've been going through a whole new experience. We're in the same neighborhood. We're still interacting within the same neighborhoods, but you have not changed. So if you haven't changed your external is most likely the same. Most likely the same. And so that happens sometimes too, especially when you don't have the tools to change. You don't really foresee a new self. You don't really see that people around you are changing either. You don't really do any changing for yourself, and that happens to a lot of people. And you start to notice that too as you get older, because you have memories of high school and college, and so you have these long-term friendships now with people, and you notice that they haven't changed that much. And so having these friends where it's like, okay, now we're at like a 5, 6, 7 year mark, and I've gone through this whole, like, whatever thing you've gone through a career growth and a business understanding, you go through spiritual growth, you go through physical changes, health changes, whatever. You go through so many changes in your life, and you can feel like you're a new person. And you're around certain people who just never changed. They never changed. And it's like, certain things that you're doing, we used to do together before, I don't resonate with now. And I've had a lot of situations like that too, where at a certain point, I got to a certain point where it was like, what you're doing is not resonating with me. And I kind of had to pull away because I need to make room for people who resonate with me in the space I am in now. I don't have to close the door all the way unless, something drastic happening. But a lot of times, since there's nothing crazy happening, you don't have to close the door. And so you can leave the door open. I left the door open for a few people. And some people did make their way back, and it's transforming what the relationship means to you now and what you guys do together now. It can happen. It's possible. But a lot of times it's very difficult. So having those friends who don't want to grow, they don't want to tap into themselves and open up to new possibilities. They still engage in those lackluster behaviors that as a kid you did stupid things, and then you grow out of it, hopefully, and then you realize that those people have not done that. They're still doing that, and they use you to come out of to the other side after they've engaged in those things. Now they see that you have an understanding. Now that you offer yourself to them, because it's like, oh, I can help you with your relationship, and that one or two times where you talked to me about it and I gave you great insight and you listened to me, or you took heed of what I said. Now you keep coming back to me for more because I'm helping you get through it, but you're not doing the work for you to get through it for yourself. You're just coming back to me over and over and over, trying to utilize my powers to help you get through. And that's when it becomes imbalanced now. Because now you're not trying to tap into yourself. You don't want to hear when I say change yourself. You just want to hear, the other aspects of the insight, and then you never change yourself. You're always doing the same thing over and over. The relationships you're manifesting are still the same, but every time you still come to me, and those are the people who are like, I have friends who they keep telling me the same story over and over and over. I don't want to hear that story. I'm that type of person where it's like, we can talk about what happened. You can give me all of your thoughts and all of your feelings behind it, but at a certain point, this conversation shifts into what we're going to do next. That's it. Like, I'm not going to go back again tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and keep talking about the same thing. And I'm not going to talk about the same thing for 5 hours. At some point, the conversation has to turn into, you know what, I'm thinking about it now, and then this is what I want to do in the next few steps going forward. And so a lot of people like to dwell on the problem and sit on the problem and keep talking about the problem, not think about the solution. And when you get to a point of like, I can't bring you to your solution. I can't bring you there. You have to find your way to the solution. I can help guide you. I can help be there for you, with you, talk to you about it. But you have to get to your solution on your own. And then you can seek help. But the friends who are absorbing you, they're not doing that. And so having the discernment to pull your stuff out. You love them. You don't want to really cut any ties with them because you understand, again, and you tend to, you just known for years, and you understand the levels, but you change and you change enough and you see the differences. So pretty much, yeah. And then the other type of is lovers. These people look like, they are people that you're intimate with. Most of the time, you're intimate with them. Which is why you differentiate. This is why they're lovers, and the other people are friends, because you're intimate with them. The intimacy part is very different. A whole nother conversation of spiritual exchanges and interlocking of energies, which is a whole nother conversation. But I'd say they come quietly, because, and I don't mean quietly like they're like mice. Like, I mean like they're quietly, like they can be rambunctious people, but they are, whatever they're feeling internally is hidden very well. And so they can have external things about them that make you feel like they know what's going on, that they're tapped in. They might be great workers, they might be great artists, and you're just like, oh, okay, like you have that in your head. You just say, okay, I see you. You know what's going on. You tapped into something, so it's cool. But they ultimately end up displaying a need for growth in some aspects, one or another, whether it's like communication with you, or like, maybe their intimacy, they're not experienced, or their emotional maturity, or their whatever. There's something that you see that there needs to be some growth in, some areas of growth. You know how to heal, you want to offer, you're intrigued by their pain and their healing journey. And that's one thing too I want to talk about, because I am that person. I'm always like, more psychology to tap into. Tell me your problems. What are you going to be diagnosed with now? In my mind, I'm not going to say, to somebody, oh, you got this and this and this. But in my mind, I'm just like, how can I learn about this person and learn their layers? Like, you just get so intrigued by like wildness and pain and like, what can I know? What can I do? You know? And so you get to that point and you are now intertwined and wrapped in their shit because you're so, you know, fascinated by it. You ultimately end up falling in love with them because, you know, however you define love, but you ultimately end up falling in love with them because you're starting to unwrap who they are, and you're starting to see more, and you're more invested in figuring out what's going on with them. So now you're in love. We understand that we are experiences, so we never truly turn down anything that has potential to teach us. And that's the healer within you. You're always like, I am getting so much from this experience. And that's, you know, for me, I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse or what it is. I don't know if it's like, you know, a psychologist could probably look at it and say that's a problem. And, you know, so many different people can look at it in different ways. But for me, I always say, like, ultimately, all my relationships I've enjoyed because I look at it as an experience, because I got something from it. And so I didn't lose. I got something from this shit. I learned something. So, and I wasn't going to turn it down just because why? Why? And I always used to say to myself, I can get myself out of situations, sticky situations. I know myself. I know how to pull myself through. But then that's something they say, like the last relationship I was in is what stopped me from diving in. Something about it just kind of like, that's when I said I broke ties in this last relationship, because I was so, and that's how I got to a point of breaking the ties and being that person to save, because I looked at it and I said, I love myself much more than this situation. And I think that's kind of what I saved myself by doing that, because I really did. I mean, it wasn't like I was trying to like convince myself like, oh, I love myself. No, I literally was like, I love myself way too much to even want to even be involved. Like, I'm sorry, like, I care about you, I love you, I've given you, I've helped you. And over the course of the 2-3 years that we were together, or, you know, like dating and knowing each other and just experiencing each other, you give and you give. But I always had like a wall of like, I'm gonna keep walking, but when I get to that wall, I'm just gonna turn around. And so I had my limits. I always had my limits, and that's probably why, like, my definition of relationships are very different from other people. Like, I'm not into traditional boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, because that is when a lot of people don't really have an understanding of those titles and the job of that comes with that title. Because if you have a title, it's a job coming with it. They don't really understand it. And so I'm like, for me especially, I know my Cancer heart is always like, I can be in a relationship and be 100% in a relationship. If he says to me, we moving to Canada, I'm gonna say, you know what, let's go have some fun. And I just pack up all my shit and I'll go. And, you know, like, for me, I mean, that's like experience for me. But it's like, you can't do that. And thank God I wasn't in no position like that to do that. But I got myself to a place personally where I was like, I love myself a lot. I care about myself a lot. I worked very hard to get to this place of being satisfied with me, being happy with me, understanding people in the outside world, and not really internalizing a lot of the shit that's going on outside of me, and being able to have discernment where you're not gonna pull me apart. And so that's kind of like, that wall was like, you're not gonna pull me apart. So no, I'm not your girlfriend. No, you're not my boyfriend. That's not gonna happen. My last relationship, he was very upset that I didn't want to be in a relationship with him, but I just was like, this is not about you. This is because you want to be in a relationship, but I'm seeing that you're not ready for that. What I know a relationship to be, and how I want to actually live in a relationship, you can't offer that to me, and I'm not gonna act like you can, and I'm not gonna try to hope that you'll get to that place. I see it right now. You can't do it. And that was after me finding this being in the space of like, I'm cutting those ties of being there for you. So ultimately it ended where I had to kind of like decide, do I want to be in a space to actively be there for this person, be the healer for this person? And I recognize those moments. That's important for you to recognize, is when you get to that crossroad of like, you're gonna end up having to be a healer for this person, or you can either, cut the tie and not do that for them. And so I got to a crossroad of like, do I want to be a healer with this person and help this person get through their problems, or do I want to cut the ties? And there's no in between. There's not a third dirt path to do it. You have to choose one. And sometimes, with dealing with people, we're so complex, and love has so many different layers. But when you're dealing with another human being, when you understand accountability and holding yourself, being responsible for yourself, it's going to be either black or white. You're either going to be there or you're not going to be there. I mean, like, who's big mad? My street is too dramatic. So I was just like, that's how I just like had to say, like, you know what? I know what a relationship looks like. I know what a relationship looks like. I know what I want, and I know what I don't want. And I love myself enough to say, it's okay. I don't need to be there. It's not for me. It's not for me. And you realize that, all the work that you've done, you have people that's been supporting you, your friends that you know and you love. But at the end of the day, a lot of your pain, a lot of the growth that you went through, you had to do it on your own. And so you can say, like, I'm going to be there for you, I want to be there for you, but at the end of you can't do nothing for them. You can't do nothing for these people. You have to literally let them go. You have to let them experience their life on their own. And sometimes removing yourself from those situations is help for them. It's not an enabling anymore. It's not she's there to help me fall back on, sometimes if I'm hungry, she'll feed me. And not like just by food, I mean like, because the spirit speaks first. And I feel like with those people who are not fully aware of who they are, their spirit is thirsty for something. It's looking for to be filled up, is looking for the answers. Because people who don't know themselves, they're always like, you can pick up on that language of like, I'm finding myself, I'm searching for something, I'm unhappy, something's missing. Their spirit is craving to be filled. And so when you come and you're full and you have a little extra to give over, they can smell that. And even if their humanists can't really, name it and identify that, their spirit knows exactly what it is. And so their spirit will sit around you. Their spirit will always want to come around you. Their spirit will engage in sexual activities. Their spirit will want to hang out and go to do things together. The spirit will want to always talk to you. If you offer anything, the spirit will take it. It's like if you offer it to your ancestors and your ancestors feed off of it, off that energy. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing as if their spirit is looking to be filled. And so this is how you get depleted. This is how you fall away from yourself, is when you're giving yourself to somebody who is not filling you back up. It's important for you to benefit and to be filled up from the people who are in your life. And so it's okay to look at somebody and say, you know what, right now you don't really have a place for me. I need to figure out where that place is. We can always come back around to this, but I need to take a step back for a moment and see where do I want you to sit at my table. You're not just gonna come into the house and just be walking around and knocking over fucking picture frames and slamming doors and shit. No, you need to come into my house and have purpose. And I need to be able to dictate where you go. When you have guests come over to your house, you don't just let them walk all over the house. You say, we're here for dinner. Come to the living room. I have food for you. I have a cheese platter. Come into the dining room. The dinner's going to be served here. The wine, dessert is going to be served here. And then you can go home. You're not letting them They ask you in the bathroom, you show them which bathroom you want them to go to, the one that you cleaned. You know, and you just, you know, you don't let them walk through your bedroom, you don't let them go through your closet. And this makes me think about the Mother movie. I love that movie, Mother. I should watch it again. When people were coming into her house and tearing shit up, and she was just like, you're not supposed to be in this room, and they're just in that room. And that's like that spirit that's like craving to be, you know, to be filled up off of you and just taking your stuff. You need to decide, where are you going to be placed in my life? Where are you sitting at this dinner table in my life? And do you want to be there? If you don't want to be at that place, then you don't have to, and you can go. But I love myself. I work too hard to get myself to a place of happiness and peace and satisfaction with the things that I do. I love my solitude. I love, you know, having this openness to my friends, my experiences. I love not having someone else's drama tear me up and hold me back. And so this new moon in Scorpio kind of did roll that out for us this time. It kind of definitely was like, define what's going on. Libra season was that season of like, what do you want? What do you want? Clarify that and make a decision. Because, you know, Libra energy is like kind of like indecisive. But the season was kind of like, what do you want? The end of the year has rolled around. You had a whole year of picking and choosing and playing and dipping and dabbling. Now what do you want? Okay, Scorpio season's here. Now you can dive into the deeper and kind of like get the roots embedded after you decided what you wanted. Decide what you want. Do not go into 2020. Don't ever go into the next year holding on to some shit from the year before. Every time it just keeps rolling over. It's like a rollover of fucking minutes and time and energy. If it's not defined, it's just gonna fall away from you, and it's a fucking mess. And so that's this new moon energy, new moon in Scorpio energy that I've been getting. It's like, this is what's gonna happen. This is how we're gonna roll this out. And now I'm taking control back of my life, and I'm not gonna let outside energies, vultures, absorb me. Spirits take away my energy, take from me. That's how it's rolling out. And I like that a lot because, you know, you don't really need to be not doing all that extra shit no more. Like, that's just it. That's how I feel. Like, it's kind of like, you know, I've gotten to a place in my spirituality where it's like I'm past fucking talking about rose quartz and amethyst being like the star crystals. I'm past talking about, you know, the basics of astrology. Like, we past that. Now we intertwining a feeling of energetics, of polarities, of understanding, of just existing and being. And so you're doing that now. The work is done. And so we pass all that shit of like, oh, my broken ass boyfriend, all these friends is stressing me out. Oh, I'm tired of y'all talking to me about this shit. Go. Bye. Bye, ho. Bye. That's the type of time that is we on. You're not wasting my time no more. You're not. And if you're that person who's wasting other people's time, I suggest that you get your shit together ASAP. Because every moon, every month, every year that is rolling out, every elevation of progression that we're having in society, internally, people that you see go evolving in themselves, learning different things, whether it be about business, whether it be about the self, whether it be about fucking in school, whatever they're doing, whatever they're experiencing, moving forward, expanding themselves. If you're still sitting in your fucking shit, smelling your shit, you'll be left behind. You just gonna be left behind. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be left out the fucking... Invite me to the party. I want to come to the party. So keep up. Keep up. You have no other choice. You have just one life and then you die. And you might come back, but you're not going to come back as you. And you're not going to be able to experience what you experienced again. And if you do, you're not going to remember. So just have fun and do it now. Just do it. Just fucking do it. Get your shit together. Figure yourself out. And move forward and grow with the people around you who are growing. And if they're not growing, put them to the side and say, find your place. I'll find your place. You find your place. If I got to close the door, I'll close the door. If not, we'll come back to this. But I need to keep moving forward. And that's it. Don't let anybody absorb shit from you. Don't let anybody take anything from you. No energy from you. Because it's real. It's a very real thing. People taking stuff from you, and there's a lot of people more than you know, walking around mediocre and shit. You can see it on their face, and you can smell it. You can see in their clothes, where they present themselves, that they're just not even trying at all. And if you got to a point where you're just like, something ain't right, something not adding up, that means that you need to take a look back and say to yourself, there's another level that I need to tap into right now. I need to figure out how to get there, because something ain't adding up. And I don't want to be left behind. I'm not going to be left behind as light is evolving and growing and expanding, and you're still sitting in your shit darkness, just festering with your fucking bacteria and shit. Don't do that. Ain't no time, because life is happening and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful experience, and you want to be able to be fully present and aware of what's happening around you and within you, and just enjoy it and take it and just transform it and transmute it. That's all that this is. It's all, you know, everything else that people are so worried about, it doesn't matter. What matters is you taking the energy that you've been born with, created with, and utilizing it and expanding yourself, and to grow it and to share it with people, and to share, you know, your light and love and what you're learning with people, in hopes that you can help them too. And you know, just sharing and just enjoying and growing, learning, being open, being fair, being selfish and unselfish, being honest, brutally honest with yourself, with everybody around you, keeping it real, keeping it funky, keeping it fresh. I don't know. But that's the type of time that we on, and I just had to share that insight that I got this morning, because I really liked it a lot. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very important to share that now, especially now when, like, you know, a lot of women that I know, my sisterhood is full of women who are just, you know, dealing with men and having friendships that are just like depleting them, and it's like, hold up, let's roll this shit back for a second and see what the fuck is going on. So, all right, we done. I want to show you my belly, but I don't want to show you my underwear. Because I think I was sweating. I'm always sweating, but I don't have underwear on that's black and absorbent. It's cotton, so his sweat marks are probably there. I don't want to show it, but I want you to see my belly. All right, I'm going to put this camera down just a little bit. There we go. Hey, belly. One, I think they moved. I think one is here and one is here. Because the kicks used to feel like one back here and one up front, so I could tell. But now they all feel like in the same space, so I think they're next to each other. And hopefully, I go to the doctor in 2 weeks. I hope they're still there, and I hope that I can see them at the same fucking time. Every time I go to the doctor, I can't see them at the same time. I'm like, can you get a picture of them together? And they're like, I can't. Like, once I get one head, the other foot is over here, and I'm like, can y'all make me happy? I want to see you at the same time. But they're doing their own thing, and I appreciate them. The babies, I mean. And I love them, so. As long as I can feel both of them, I don't care what they're doing. All right. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a good week. I hope you have a good end of October. I hope you have a good Halloween. We're probably going to do another video then, because I'm going to be dressed up all motherfucking day. And I hope you have a good start to November, because November is going to be great. I can smell it. I can see it. It's going to be a great time. We're going to move into Sagittarius season. And that's the energy that I have to study up on, because my moon is a Sag, but I don't think I understand Sagittarians. I don't think I do. Not 100% where I could talk about it. Like, I understand a lot of other signs a lot more. And so Sagittarius is one of those, like, I don't know if I really get it yet. So I'm going to look that up, and we can touch base on that too, because that'll probably be very interesting. Sagittarians, but between Scorpio and Capricorn. We're in a dark season now. It's dark ages. So Sagittarians have to tap into something like that. All right, we'll see.